File 1232020, People versus Rochelle Elliott. Miss Elliott was also originally charged with a felony methamphetamine charge, reduced to a misdemeanor. The original complaint alleged possession of methamphetamine. The defendant had another methamphetamine charge, which I think may have already been bound over to the circuit court at the time she got this one. That matter was dismissed, and this matter was reduced to a use of methamphetamine. The matter was set for sentencing. Same thing. Small amount of methamphetamine, more of a use, but a history of meth. She was on another meth charge, and she said, "You guys are picking on me. This is the second time I got stopped in a year." Well, second time you had meth. So I asked for a pre-sentence report. And again, it's a struggle. So, Mr. George, what would you like me to know here?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I think Autumn did a nice job of kind of giving the court a sense of where my client is at this point in time. By way of update, my client did advise that she did get the substance abuse evaluation done. As part of the recommendation, they had recommended some outpatient treatment. Her next appointment is scheduled for the day after Christmas of this year. I did advise her that she needs to go ahead and sign a release so that Autumn can have access to that information. I think the court kind of found my client at a time that is beneficial for her. As the report indicates, she is struggling with a lot of things right now. And I do think that having the probation there, having the oversight there, and the access to those resources would really help my client not only deal with the substance abuse issue, which is obviously present, but also some housing issues and some other things like that. So, I think the recommendation is on point. We'd ask the court to follow it. Thank you.
Miss Elliott, what would you like me to know?
Just that I'm doing everything that I can to get back on track, and I've been in touch with housing resources here in St. Joe County to get more permanent housing for me, and putting in applications so that I can get more stable.
Where's your daughter?
My daughter is with my mother right now.
In Jones?
Yes.
Well, that's probably a blessing. Methamphetamine has turned your life upside down. I'm not trying to be unkind, but you look like methamphetamine this morning, right now. When did you last use?
Day of the incident.
Which was way back in October?
No, the 23rd or whatever, when they.
October 23rd. Autumn says, and I tend to agree with this officer feels that Miss Elliott is not being totally honest with her methamphetamine use and fears she is using more frequently. The officer is also concerned for her 2-year-old daughter. She's not receiving adequate care and housing since her mother is homeless. This officer feels Miss Elliott doesn't want to work as hard as she should for care for her daughter, and feels that a very strictly supervised probation is warranted at this time. This officer advised Miss Elliott to contact Woodlands and Cassopolis to schedule a substance abuse assessment, to contact DHSS for help with housing and anything else she would need. So the addiction and the other aspects of your life go hand in hand. the drug use and the disruption that goes with it leads you to living this hard scrabble bare existence, which is not fair to your daughter. So that's good that your mother is there. And you got caught twice. It's like, you guys are stalking me. I got picked up for meth. Well, then don't be there with meth. The other case was bound over to circuit court as a felony. I think their intention was maybe drug court or something. Then you got charged with this one, and Mr. Marvin just resolved it with a plea to one misdemeanor charge. Autumn, you've made your recommendation. And Tim said this earlier, the jail is always there. Is there anything else you wish to add?
No, Your Honor, you pretty much summed it up.
Well, I read your words.
That's,
All right. So tell me about contacting Woodlands. Did you contact them?
Yes,
All right, when did you do that?
About a week ago before they set the appointment. It was very close to today. It was today.
All right,
Because
so
I
you have an
was
appointment at Woodlands?
Well, I've had an appointment. I went and seen them and had the assessment done this morning.
Okay,
And it was supposed to be yesterday, but my money from Instacart hadn't hit my card yet. So we had to reschedule it for this morning before court, which I went and had it done because of,
now you're doing Instacart and DoorDash?
I'm doing multiple apps because like I said, one of them isn't enough.
Yeah,
to
tell me about
sustain.
that.
I do DoorDash, I do Instacart, I'm doing Roadie, multiple apps so that I can have it actually be a decent amount of money and spread across. I made the $80 I needed in like a day or two.
Where are you actually sleeping?
Mostly I go and stay where my mom is, but I do sometimes see my friend that lives not far from my mom on Third Lake. And before I was in Scott's a little bit, but that wasn't a very good situation, so I got away from that.
If I give you a drug test today, will you be positive?
No,
Well, we'll find out. All right, Autumn, I guess we can see. I don't want you to fail. I'm gonna order 120 days jail. Credit one of the 120 days, 119 are deferred. Fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee. I'm doing a 12-month probation. She recommended 24, but I'm gonna do a 12, which is 480, probably will be 12. The recommendations include substance abuse, counseling and treatment, sign and release, test as directed for drugs and alcohol, no drugs, no alcohol, no marijuana. You can take any prescribed medications. We'd like you to get a real job. I'm not saying that you're not working hard, but she wants you to obtain full-time employment. And I want you to test at the day reporting center after lunch. I want to see whether they're using methamphetamine right now or not.
Does she
But-
have the $35? If she doesn't, they're not gonna test her.
Can we do a
I
test
can
here?
test her downstairs.
All right, we'll test here. All right, so you're positive you're gonna be negative on that test for methamphetamine?
Yes,
All right, well, let's go ahead and do that. Mr. George is gonna be here for a bit. See how she does on that, and then we'll finish the sentence.
Thank you.
All right. Come on back up. I've got the record still running here. All right, we return to the sentence in People versus Rochelle Elliott. Mr. George is here once again. He drew two tough drug addiction cases today. We started the sentence a few minutes ago. The recommendation was for a probation with a large amount of deferred jail time. I wasn't very kind, but I said it appeared that methamphetamine was still in the picture. I asked Ms. Kiefer to do an automatic instant test here at the court. What do we find?
She's positive for methamphetamine.
All right.
So after 3 minutes of questioning, she finally admitted to using still at least once a week and used 2 days ago.
All right, is that true, Miss Elliott?
yes, sir.
All right, you're still struggling. You're in rough shape.
I can and will do better, sir.
Okay, I hope so. We feel so hopeless. We have a large percentage of people put on methamphetamine probation, and frankly, we do not do very well. The circuit court has hundreds of thousands of dollars for drug court and Swift Insure program, and they struggle. They have case managers and instant testing and people that follow you around, and their relapse rate is terrible also. I feel bad for the whole circumstance. I'm gonna order 31 days jail credit. One, I'm not gonna put you on probation. You're not truthful. You're in the throes of your addiction. You don't have any money. We can get some treatment for you started at the jail. But you just looked me right in the eye and lied to me multiple times, and it hurts my feelings.
Could
I could make it 90 days if you'd like to discuss it further. I felt I was just giving you a
gonna suggest
gift.
perhaps a rehab instead of the jail or something. is all I
Yeah,
was
well,
gonna
we're gonna
suggest.
start with 30 days of clean time, and then we're gonna see if we can set up a rehab while you're in jail. See how sincere you are about doing it. Instead of rehab, instead of jail, we're gonna start with 30 days of jail, and covered bridge staff will see if they can set something up. Same thing, there's no fine. Any money I take from you, I'm taking from your daughter. I'm gonna waive Mr. George's fee, $125 or 2 additional days. I asked for pre-sentence in these because they were tough. They didn't get any easier. And you're the other guy was a more blatant liar than you were. Yours is just you're lying about your addiction.
Well, I apologize anyway, sir.
All right, thank you. So 30 days of clean time, perhaps some rehab, and then maybe you can start fresh. But the plan you're on isn't going too good. People don't die of methamphetamine addiction as in an overdose, they decay. And you are in a state of decay and you deserve better. We're gonna start with just flat 30-day jail sentence minus good time. So you're gonna be in prison, not John Prine's Christmas in prison. You're gonna be in jail for Christmas and New Year's. And that's tough on you and your family, but it's a start for some clean time. You can go with the officer.
Stand up.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this a use?
Yes, use. He had a retail fraud dismissed as part of this.
Okay.
So that one's gone. Anyway, she's certainly struggling. Tim, I'm sorry. You can only do so much for your clients if they're not willing to do for themselves. All right, thank you. We'll be in recess.